Thanks, guys. Just take a seat. We'll get tonight going on. Fourth go. Excellent. Thanks, guys, for taking the seat. Awesome night to be joining us on this Monday night. We had the pleasure of listening to Mike Rogers. So, Mike, just a bit of background about Mike Rogers. Hey, guys, thanks for coming and joining us. Fantastic. He's had a background in real estate, but it has actually basically got his freedom back through creating assets for himself. So I probably couldn't think of a better person to sit down on a Monday night and listen to. Got a wealth of knowledge and wisdom. Some of the key principles that I've learned from Mike is his communication and leadership skills. So without any further ado, actually before we start, can you just whack your mobiles? Just so we don't interrupt Mike. But without any further ado, please help me welcome Mike Rogers.
Yeah.
How are you, mate? How you all going? Yeah. I am excited to be here. It's did anyone notice the buzz in the room as you came in? Yeah. I love that. It's just the same as work, isn't it? Yeah. Who'd be interested in more time and more money than they've got at the moment? That's actually what we're about. You know, this is just an idea. It's just a way to get you from where you are to where you want to be. We're not trying to belt anybody. We're not trying to get anybody. What we're doing is we're specifically out there looking for people who think like us, people who reckon there's got to be something better. Has anyone had that thought ever? There's got to be a better way than this. You know, I've done lots of things. Been a bankie when I left school and went from there, worked at Jackhammer for a while. I was working in a cleaner in a school. Just a hint, don't ever do that. That's the worst thing. Going into the boys' toilets to clean it, it's like put on the hazmat suit and get the SWAT team there ready to get you out if you have to. Worked as a gardener for a while, worked as a builder, worked as a real estate agent, and after 20 years in the workforce, I thought, man, this is crazy. Sorry, Jackie, can you just grab me the marker, please, in that green bag? It's like a well-oiled machine. My fault, thank you. I went back there to do it and said hello to some people and forgot all about it. And what I learned at school and from mum and dad was that if you want to be successful, go and work hard. And that was pretty well it. And in that it was like study hard so that you can get to a good job and then just work until you get to 65 and you'll be all right. Is that pretty much what we learned? Yep. How's it going? Because for most people, it's like, it's all right. He's been working 8 weeks. Pop your hand up if you've been working for longer than 8 weeks. Anybody else think you'll find out? Anybody? Yeah. No, I'm glad you're enjoying it, but mate, the older people in the room, a couple of them, they're getting knives out. Tends to lose some of its gloss after the 10th week. It's when you look at that though, for most people, we're down here with kids, and then average person starts work at 20, and then it's just 25, 30, 35, 40, 45, 50, 55, 60, 65, and we just work through to that. So just to help you out, you're there. You're there, all right? And you've gone all the way from there to there. Still there. So, you know, it tends to, I like this idea so much. I started when I was 16. When I got to 30, 35, 36, and I'd done 20 years as hard as I could go. You know, just kept ramping it up, doing my work. Didn't matter what I did okay because I had a good work ethic, good attitude, all of that. But I got to 36 and I looked around and I thought, this is crazy. This is not the life I had imagined for myself. You know, all I was doing was going to work. I was in real estate at that stage up to about 80, 90 hours a week. really successful. Everybody thought, man, Mike's doing really well, flash suits, driving a Merc, all the stuff. But my life, I was the proverbial duck, you know, looked very smooth on the top, incredibly smooth, I might just add, but paddling like an idiot underneath, and never seen my kids. The things that were actually important to my soul were just non-existent. They were not in the radar. I looked at that and I'm like, man, I have not got another 30 years of this, of going 80, 90 hours a week. Because I don't know if you can work this out, but if you're working that hard, it'll eventually kill you, you know, because you don't have any balance, you don't have any time off to recoup or regenerate. I hadn't had a holiday for 11 or 12 years because I've been working for myself and generating my own income that whole time. And it's really interesting. I read a book called Rich Dad, Poor Dad. Has anyone heard of Robert Kiyosaki? Yep, a lot of the people in the business have read it. Robert's been in a couple of times and spoken. I've met him a couple of times. He's classed as the #1 financial educator in the world. And his original book, Rich Dad, Poor Dad, was the story of his real dad, who was a teacher, and the lessons he learned from his real dad, who he called his poor dad, and his rich dad, who was his best mate's dad, who was a property developer that he worked for. So he got two different messages from Rich Dad and Poor Dad about how to live your life. Dad's saying, go safe, go secure. Rich Dad's saying, mate, you got to have a crack. You know, you can't, if you do what everyone else is doing, you're going to end up like them. Robert, it's a ripper book. It's actually, we've got a few books down there so that people who want to start that process of educating themselves, there's some great books on the table back there with Ange that are all about teaching us the stuff that the successful people in the world know. But his second book was a book called Cash Flow Quadrant. And what that was all about was the way we make our money, that we're either employed or self-employed, we're a business owner or we're an investor. And the definition is an employed person is someone who works for someone else, that you've got to show up, you get paid, trading your hours for dollars, basically. So you're just doing that. You're trading your hours for dollars. If you don't show up, they don't pay you. Fascinating that at the turn of the century, when it turned over from 1899 to 1900, about 95% of people had their own farms or businesses. They were farriers, they were trading chickens for horseshoes and stuff like that. They were their own business. The Industrial Revolution happened by the turn of the 21st century, 1999 to 2000, about 95% of people were over this side, working for someone else, trading their hours for dollars, because we got sold the big sell on you work on this side of the quadrant and you get security. Like I started out working in a bank at 16 years of age. Everybody's like, mate, you got a job forever. Who reckons getting a job now in the bank is a job forever? Not one hand, not one. It's a different world. You know, General Motors, I had mates who went and got, apprenticeships at General Motors, at Holden's. It's like, oh man, it's a job forever. How's that going for them, do you think? Oh, they shut 3 years ago. It's fascinating what's happened. So this side of the quadrant is actually people trading their hours for dollars. Here you're working for a boss. Here you're working for yourself, but you still have to show up, because if you don't come, there's no money available. If you don't do the work, you don't get paid. On this side, businesses are about having a system that creates money, that creates income. So best example I can give of a business is like McDonald's. You think about McDonald's, who would agree probably not the best hamburgers in the world? Yep. Who would say they are? The little girl. Good on you. I love that she's involved. I'm like, who would agree with me though that they don't have the best hamburgers, but they've got the best business system for making money out of hamburgers. That's what they do. That's why they do so well. So, and you think about their business model, the bosses aren't the one out there taking your order. Who takes your order now? The screen out in the foyer. They haven't even got a person to do it. But the place is run by 15 and 16-year-olds. And the bosses are sitting at home counting their money. So they've got a system that creates money. And investors have got money that creates money. Yep. So, what happens, 95% of people are actually on this side of the quadrant, that they're trading their hours for dollars. And 5% of people are on this side of the quadrant. Now, who's ever thought it'd be really good to own a block of units and just have the rent coming in? That'd be a good earner. Yep. How's that going? Oh, the problem with that is you've got to come up with a bunch of money. You know, that's what investors are, money making money. And that was always when I was in this program, I'm like, I've got to get property, I've got to get, you know, a block of flats or something, I can do them up, I'm a builder, I can, and get that, but you've got to come up with $1 million to start out with so that you can buy the units. So as much as all of us, or most people, I was reading an article the other day, Gen Y, like the millennials, like my kids, the numbers are staggering. Something like 73% of millennials would like to own their own business. And yet, nearly all of them are working in that space. And why is that? Because they haven't got knowledge or money or skill sets to allow them to set up their own businesses, so they're working for other people. How's that going for them? Well, 93% of the jobs created in the last 10 years have been casual or part-time. So, you know, remember I said we got sold the idea of coming on this side because of the security? How much security is there if you've got casual employment? None. Zero. Oh, but the benefits are good. Oh, there's none of them either. No sick pay, no holiday pay, no long service leave, no, none of the benefits that come, that got our society going from that side to that side, none of those benefits are still available. So, and I'm not actually here to create a horror picture, I'm actually talking about what life's like today. This is just fact, you know, I'm actually on an executive board for a financial planner. These are the figures that we talk about around that board table, you know, the stuff that is going on at the moment. And it's fascinating because, like, I work with a couple of financial planners, but I've said to both of them, you do a survey of your client base and it'll be all in that 45, 50 plus bracket. And they've got virtually no clients up to 45 years old. I said, what that tells you is that in 20 years' time, all you're doing is paying out and not getting anything in. Because all the young people can't do financial planning and buy insurance and income protection insurance because they haven't got any security, so they can't do it. So it's changing the whole way that our business works. Now, all of that was to tell you that I bumped into a mate of mine from school, and a lot of you have heard this story, but I was selling houses. I'm thinking there's got to be something better than this. There's got to be a way that I can actually live my life and not just trade my hours for dollars. This mate of mine from school that I haven't seen for 10 years rolls up looking at $1 million house 25 years ago, so probably worth 3 or 4 million if it came on the market today. He's driving a brand new Merc Sports. I'm chatting to him, what have you been up to? Just got back from a couple of weeks in Acapulco. So what are you doing with yourself? I'm retired from a day job at 35 with plenty of money. Now keep in mind I was 36 at the time, he was 35. He's still a year younger than me, but he's in a whole different spot now. But who reckons that sounds like not a bad lifestyle? Nice car, nice house, travelling the world, plenty of money, doing whatever you want. Right. Me too. And I rang him up and said, mate, what are you doing? Is there a spot for me? Because I didn't care what I did. You know, I did a lot of different things on the way through here. They weren't things that, you know, when Mum said to me at 12 years old, so what do you want to do with your life, Mike? I didn't say, oh, cleaning schools, that's where I'm heading, Mum. Or jackhammer. Oh, that'd be awesome. Man, how good would you be on the dance floor? You just walk out there and everyone thinking, man, that guy's got moves. So I was just going one spot to another, one thing after another, looking for a spot that I could make money and get a better life. And I was really good at the work, really good at it. So good that I just kept ramping it up. But then I'm like, talking to this guy, and he said, let's catch up and have a coffee. He absolutely belted me. He belted me from the point that he challenged my thinking. Now, He said, first thing he said, why are you doing what you're doing? I'm like, man's got to eat. Now, if someone asked you before you saw this business, why are you doing what you're doing? Who's saying, oh, because it's my passion, because it's what I've always believed in, Mr. 8 Weeks. And that's great. It becomes different when you've got to do it because you've got to pay the bills, you know. When I was back here, I didn't have any debts, no responsibilities, no liabilities, so it was a bit more carefree. When you're here and you've got a mortgage and you've got kids who, you know, they want to eat every day, sometimes more than once a day, you know, and you've got to keep coming up with money to feed them. And so, you know, you crank up what you're doing, but you're starting at 5 in the morning and finishing at 10 in the night. You know, that it tends to lose a bit of its gloss, but for most people, they're doing what they do because they've got to eat. Now, Jack, our nearly 18-year-old in the back, I've said to him, mate, don't worry, people keep asking, what are you going to do? What are you going to do? And it's not actually about what's going to make you happy here. It's about what's going to set you up. Who are you going to be for down here? So, you know, I used to run a gym, so I get that. It's good fun, and it's just not so much fun when what you're doing is cleaning out the spas in the gym, or, you know, being there on a Sunday cleaning the pool because we didn't get to it during the week and all that sort of stuff. That's when you're over here, you know, you're still trading your hours for dollars. Whole different story when someone else is doing that. But one of the things I love about our life, because Ange has been in the fitness industry for a long time, rather than having her go out now, we've got a great gym at home that she does stuff at home, you know, with some clients still, of people that she's friends with who wanted to train, but it's part of our lifestyle instead of part of our requirements that we've got to do. So I guess that's what he was saying, why are you doing what you're doing? And he said, well, I said, I've never really thought about it. He said, well, think about it. What would you do? Because he said to me, if you use the same principles in life that you used in sport, you'll have the same level of success. Now, in sport, it's a whole different formula. If you want to be successful in sport, it's not just about work. It's about, firstly, working out what it is that you're trying to achieve. Call it a dream or a vision or a purpose or a passion, or call it whatever you like. It's about having a point B, having somewhere that you're shooting for. And that was all my sport was about. You know, it was about, I was talking to Jack on the way down tonight. He had a beach training thing on Sunday, and they did an hour down at Brighton Beach, 9 till 10. I said to him, man, when I was playing, our beach training was 7 in the morning down at the beach, and 2 hours of running through the sand hills and water up to there for 2 hours till 9, and then we could squirt off and drive to the stadium, and then we had 2 hours of basketball practice on the court, and then from there we had to run from Goodwood Road to Marion Road and back, so about a 5k run. And he did an hour on the beach. He had to go, oh, man, I'm dead. I'm like, don't get me dead. That's like going to the beach. But I didn't do that because I love running on sand. I did it because I wanted to be a better player. I did it because I wanted to play high level. I did it because I knew why I was there. Then you've got to have this right sort of vehicle. Like if I'm desperate to play basketball for Australia, my vehicle probably should be basketball. Not that handy if I'm the world's best two-up player. If I'm wanting to play basketball, you know, so you could actually, and if you dream, who's seen stuff on Necker Island, Richard Branson's island? Who's seen anything on that? Have a look at it. It's unbelievable. He bought it for hardly anything too. He's unbelievable. But if it's not hardly anything anymore. But if your dream is to own a private island, who thinks that would be pretty cool to have your own private island? I reckon that'd be fun, I reckon. But if that's your dream, probably working in McDonald's drive-through wouldn't be the right vehicle. Does that make sense? Because it'll never get you there. So you've got to actually have a vehicle that can get you there. And then the last bit of this formula is that you've got to work hard. So So instead of just the work, there's a couple of things that you've got to look at. Well, what's going to get me there so that I'm picking the right vehicle, and where is it that I'm trying to get? So when Beach talked to me about if you use the same principles in your life that you used in your sport, I got it straight away. I'm like, it's just about this. This is what motivates you. I was not excited about being on the beach at 7 o'clock after a big night on Saturday night. But I was there because I was excited about my dream. I was excited about playing as high level as I could. I was excited about trying to make the state team. I was excited about winning the premiership. I was excited about all sorts of stuff about basketball. When he said that to me, all of a sudden, my whole world changed. At 36, a 10-minute conversation over a cup of coffee absolutely changed things for me. Because he said, so what would your 10 out of 10 life be? What would your dream lifestyle be? And I'm like, well, I wouldn't be going to work. It'd be spending my time with my family. Who reckons they'd rather spend time with people that they love than going to work? That was it. Well, all I saw when I saw this was freedom. That's all I saw. Now, don't get me wrong, I'm not going to knock back his brand new Merc Sports or his $1 million house or a trip to, what was it?
Acapulco.
Or Acapulco, that's right. Or retiring from a job, although that's what I wanted. Or the millionaire status, but what I saw was freedom. What I saw was an opportunity to get me out of this into that. The other thing he talked to me about, because he said, so what would it be? I said, well, I think I'm just doing it to get to 65 so that I can put my feet up and retire. And he said, do you know what the stats are for people in that position? I'm like, I've got zero idea. He said, and it's interesting, it's the same as this bit over here. He said, out of every 100 people at age 65, 95% of them end up dead or broke. They've either dropped off the perch before they've got to 65, or they're on some form of a handout, or they're still at work because they can't afford to retire at age 65, which is retirement age. If you work hard and get to there, you'll be all right. And yet, 95% of people are there. 4 out of every 100 are classed as financially independent, which doesn't mean they're wealthy. It means that they can pay their own way without putting their hand out, without going to work. But you know, and I mean, it's a bit facetious, and I'm not trying to be nasty, but have you ever noticed how come old people have got really well-kept gardens? Has anyone noticed that? You drive down the suburbs and, you know, they're beautiful, their lawns are perfect, the roses are all pruned, and it's because they can't afford to go outside their gate. You know, it's horrible, but that's the reality, that most people are either dead, still at work, on a pension, or just getting by. And 1 out of every 100 is classed as wealthy, that they can do whatever they want. Now, if we do a little survey here, right now, who would choose to end up in the 95%, dead or broke, at age 65? Take your time. None of us would. Of course we wouldn't. Who'd choose to be just getting by, just head above water, as long as no waves come? So who'd choose to be able to do whatever you think and like? The point of this is that it fits with this too. But if I want to be a 1%er, I've got to do stuff 99% of people aren't doing. Because if I do what they're doing, I'm going to end up like them. And I looked at myself at 36, which was about there. I was not doing anything that the 99% weren't doing. I was just doing twice as much. All I was doing was that. And I needed to change my vision so that I was fighting for freedom. That's the whole story. It wasn't about, so what have you got? I didn't care. I didn't say to him, well, it depends what we're doing. I'm like, can I do it? Let me go. I'm in. I'll do it. If you reckon, what he said to me was, if you are willing to give me 10 or 15 hours a week serious, over the next couple of years, doing what I teach you, I'll show you how to create a 6-figure income, and it'll come in every year for the rest of your life. He reckons that sounds like a good deal. That was me too. I didn't say doing what. I'm like, okay, I'm willing to give you 10 or 15. I knew this guy, great bloke. This tall, big grin, bigger grin than he had last time I saw him, because he was driving a Merc Sports, looking at $1 million, and he said to me afterwards, no, not the house I'm looking for, but mate, I'm cashed up, I'm ready to go. You find me the house around 1.2, 1.3, I've got the money in the bank ready to go. I'm like, I wanted to take him out the back and give him a thumping. I'm like, I'm working 80, 90 hours a week for that lifestyle, and you're rubbing my nose in it, and you're this tall. That's a brave thing to do. But big grin, you know, big, yeah, happy as. How come? No stress. Freedom. I loved it. And I'm like, I'm in. What do I have to do? So the key to this, and just really quickly, I was trying to find some photos to flip over to Alex so that we could put them up. But I'll just quickly tell you about this James Beecham guy. He started out as a dairy farmer, saw this opportunity in the craziest way, but decided it was worth a crack. 2 years or 2.5 years later, he'd built a massive organisation with thousands of people in his group, and he was a millionaire out of his business. Before we got involved, and then after we got involved, not long after, he moved up to Queensland. Now, he didn't move up to Queensland and stay in the Big Four caravan park. He moved up to Queensland and bought a property in Santa Barbara, which is in between Sanctuary Cove, which is like a really impressive, expensive gated community, and Hope Island, which is another really impressive, expensive gated community. And there's a little strip of about 200 or 300 homes with about 50 along the waterfront, along the Coomera River, and Beach bought a 2-story place right there on the Coomera River with a park in front and watching these $10, $20 million boats cruising up and down the Coomera River between Hope Island and Sanctuary Cove. It is one of the best residential locations I've ever seen, and we've spent many hours sitting on that balcony talking rubbish in just a gorgeous lifestyle. Now, a couple of years ago, he bought a farm a number of years ago because he actually went to Roseworthy Ag College, and he's always loved farms, even though his dairy farm stuff didn't work so well. But he bought a farm about 10 years ago, sold it about 5 or 6 years ago, bought another farm about 2 years ago on a couple of hundred acres with 1.2 kilometres of river frontage right through the middle of it, a beautiful Queenslander on it, and his daughter wanted to have a country wedding, so he then spent like untold money doubling the size of the house, so it's now 7 bedrooms and 5 bathrooms or something like that. He put in a retaining wall in the paddock that is probably about 100 metres long and about this high, so that he didn't have to have a fence between the house and the river, but the cows could still graze on the land, so he didn't have to mow it. So it cost him about $85,000 just for this retaining wall, so that he didn't have his view disrupted by a fence. That's a long way from a dairy farmer, isn't it? And the house is just absolutely gorgeous. It's about 50-minute drive from Santa Barbara, so they're sort of 2 or 3 days in Santa Barbara, 3 or 4 days in Maroon, and just living the most unbelievable life of wealth and freedom, of 1% stuff. They travel the world. He's got a Range Rover. Wendy's got she's got an Audi now. She rode off in a Merc. Going shopping. It was raining. I ended up in a ditch. Oh, bad luck. Go and get an Audi. Needed a change. So, now, another bloke, a guy called Bill Smart, who actually coached Beach on how to create this. Bill was also coincidentally a dairy farmer. They didn't know each other. Beach was a dairy farmer down on the river at Mycolonga. Bill was a dairy farmer in Oakbank and lived on the family farm of about 160 or 200 acres or something, whole lot of cows, making, he was there. He was in the broke section, like making no money, working like an idiot, up at 4:30 in the morning to milk the cows, back in, go to bed, get up in the morning, do the same thing over again. Saw this business, all he saw as a dream, because he had a dream to be a horse trainer. He wanted to get rid of the cows and train horses. And when they were talking to him about, so what would your 10 out of 10 life be? He's like, mate, I've got it. He went into his office and pulled out a plan of what the farm could look like as a horse training farm. And he was absolutely like, I'm doing it, because this is my only chance to turn this cattle, this dairy farm, into a horse ranch. Now, Bill, for the last 25 years, about 25 years ago, they bought the family farm off the family, and his dad, may he rest in peace, did not do him any favours, like jacked the price up because he knew Bill wanted it. Bill didn't care. He just wanted to achieve his dream. He now runs horses there. His son's a horse trainer as well. They've got stables. Their house is just gorgeous. They put in a swimming pool for the horses so that the horses could cool down after work, with a jetty that would be 80 or 100 metres long. And this swimming pool is like 2 or 3 acres. And their house, they built this incredible extension on it. Now, this is a dairy farmer who was making 7 or 8 grand a year, but what he had was a dream. What he had was something that he knew he couldn't do doing what he was doing. And that's what this is about. The hardest part about this business is actually busting out of that whole thought process and getting excited about this, getting excited about the dream, getting excited about what's in it for you. One of the things I worked out that if we want to be one of the 1%, we've got to do stuff 99% aren't doing, because if we do like what they do, we're going to end up like that. One of the things the 1% that do that the 99% don't is this. They actually work out what they're trying to achieve. And now we can tell that to the 99%. I say, I should be right, mate. No, should be right. I'll be right. That's what they say. And that's okay. Because, like I said, we're not trying to belt you or get you into anything. We're just looking for the ones who are like, mate, I'd like to be free. What do I have to do? That was me. Like, I don't know what I'm talking about, but I'm willing to have a crack, because I was willing to have a crack. Because that meant time with my kids. That was about my family. That was about money. And I'm like, man, if I've got to choose between money and my family, I'm going my family every day. So I didn't have the opportunity to give up my day job, because I had those commitments. I had mortgages, I had kids, they wanted to eat, all that stuff. But he said, if you want to give me 10 or 15 hours of work serious over the next couple of years doing what I teach you, I'll show you how to do it. I'm like, I'm willing to do that. He said, you've got to do this and this. And I'm like, man, I'm struggling to come up with the time. He said, if it's important enough to you, you'll make the time. Now, that was another thing, right? Bugger. Because is a business important enough? Is freedom important enough? I don't know. But I guarantee you my family is important enough to make the time. So, and I thought of it like this. If one of the kids had to go to hospital, you're hardly going to ring in and say, man, I hope you make it through the night. I've got a meeting, so I can't come and see you. So hopefully you'll still be there tomorrow. I'll come and see you then. That's not what you do, is it? What would you do? If someone that you love's in the hospital, what do you do? Go and sit with them. So we make it a priority, don't we? We prioritise it over all the other things. And what ran through my mind was, why do we consistently wait for a crisis before we get our priorities right? Why is it that we've got to be absolutely smashed before we think, okay, I better take this on? Mate of mine, I'm chairman of the board at Jack's school and have been for a long time. We've brought on a new principal this year, ripper bloke, ex-footballer, really fit, really high level, 48 years old. Last weekend he was out riding his bike and had a stroke. And I was talking to him today and said, how you going? He said, oh man, just come from this idiot doctor, absolute idiot. She's saying, you know, maybe you might be able to go back to work next year for an hour or two a week. He's like, as if. But I'm like, how's this going for that guy? You know, really successful, great job, done really well, couple of kids, high performers, but when you don't have balance in there, the wheels can fall off. And so this business is actually about us getting control for ourselves. So what would it be? Like if you could just pick your 10 out of 10 life, what would it be? Here's a question. I was talking to a friend of mine on Saturday. I haven't seen her for a few years. She's got a son who's a year older than Jack. He used to play basketball with Jack. Ripper kid, lovely as. I said, what's Paddy doing? Good name. What's Paddy doing? She said, he's actually over on a yacht over in the Antilles. Who knows where the Antilles is? What's it called? Antilles. Antibes. It's on the Côte d'Azur in between Nice and something else on the French Riviera. And this kid at 18 heard that this was an opportunity, went to Sydney, got a Cert 4 so that he could, as a deckhand, went to Europe and started trolling the docks trying to get work. And he got a job because there's a Russian billionaire who's got this 81-metre boat with 23 staff on it. And the billionaire said, nah, close it down, it's winter, don't want to send the staff on holidays. So they sent all the staff on holidays. Then he rang up and said, no, I do want it, I'm coming down in a week. So they had to rustle around and get deckhands. Paddy got a job. He is on this boat. The billionaire actually came in for 8 hours and slept for 6 of them and then left. But they had to have it fully docked. It costs, she told me how much it costs. It's $2,000 a day just to moor the boat there. Who likes that idea? Who thinks their mortgage is sounding better? I can't remember how much she said it cost to keep the boat going, but he gets all his meals. He works from 8 in the morning till 9, and then has a half-hour break till 9:30, and works from 9:30 till 11:30, and then has an hour break for lunch, and works from 12:30 to 2 and has half an hour for afternoon tea, and then 2:30 to 4, and then they knock off. And the other day, they decided that they'd all been working too hard, so they took them out to a restaurant and put 5,000 euros on the bar so that everybody could have a good day. He's an 18-year-old kid making 800 euros a week for doing that. Who reckons that would be a good thing to do? Who reckons it'd be a really good day on the boat? That's the life you can live. Now, this Russian billionaire, did he inherit it? I don't know, but he's a Russian. He'd like to be, this Australian billionaire's got a boat. Pick me. I love those sort of stories. So there's this kid just absolutely living the high life over there because he got a bit of a vision, got a bit of a thought process about who reckons that'd be fun going and renting a boat over on the French Riviera and having a week over there or something like that. I actually read an article about that today because I Googled it. And this family said, it was just awesome. They booked us a restaurant, took the boat in, parked it next to the restaurant. We had a beautiful meal. They looked after us for the week because they were celebrating someone's birthday. Who reckons that sounds better fun than going to work? Even you should like that better. They have gyms on yachts too. Who would do something with a car? Like if in your 10 out of 10 life, who reckons probably, like if every car was $1, who'd grab the car they've got? You'd grab any car.
Definitely not.
So if every car was $1, who reckons they could cut out $5 or $10 pretty quickly? I mean, wouldn't that be exciting if there was just this, Richard Branson said, okay, everybody, cars are $1 for the next 5 minutes so you can go and grab whatever you like. who'd be like, oh no, I'm too tired, I can't be bothered. No, who could think of something that they'd grab? Yeah, what would you grab?
All McLarens.
Half a dozen McLarens, stick them on Gumtree. What I really wanted was a camper van, but I'll go to McLarens and we'll sort it out later. It's who'd get something low and fast? Who'd get something big and luxurious? Who'd get a stretch? I'd have a stretch. That'd be one of them. Just we can actually fit. It's a good option. Who'd do something with a house? Who reckons it'll be fun to actually have your dream home, like the pool and the court and a bit of land around it, and it is. Having worked in that space in real estate where I was selling really high-level properties, millions of dollars, like I had the highest residential auction sale for a long time. Peter Hurley, who owns the Arca Bar and the Port Lincoln Hotel and all that, he bought this place from me, but it's just gorgeous. 43 acres in Stirling, like literally 2 minutes away from the Stirling main street. But it's a beautiful driveway down. You're looking out over the house. It's got a lake. It's got a pool and a court, and he bought this place for $2.83 million or something, and spent $1 million on it straight away because he didn't like the roof line and the ceilings weren't high enough. So he took the whole roof off and jacked it up another 2 feet so the ceilings were higher inside. That's not bad, eh? Who reckons that? Sounds ridiculous, but it'd be nice if you had the money to just be able to make it exactly how you want to do it, which is what it's about. So who'd actually give some away, help some other people? Because that's pretty well all you can do. You can have. Who'd travel, apart from the yachts? Who'd take their kids to Disneyland? Who'd leave the kids home and go to Disneyland? You'd have some kids just so you could look like you meant to be in Disneyland and you're a nice person. Who'd like to go to somewhere like the Greek Isles or the French Riviera or somewhere like that? Who'd like to go to Miami? If you've never, go and have a look at what Miami's like on some of those Miami shows. It is I love it. I'd go back there. We went on a Caribbean cruise. Who'd like to go on a Caribbean cruise? Put your hand up. It's awesome fun. But we flew into Miami and then went on this Caribbean cruise. But I loved Miami. Miami is hustle city, and it is Millionaire Row, like all these beautiful apartments. It's a weird place because they've got like canals coming back off and the beach is like the Bay of Cuba. So there's all these thumping great big speedboats coming back and forward because they're smuggling Cuban cigars. It's fantastic. So you go and have dinner in a restaurant, they're walking around, how at the footy they've got hot dog trays and stuff. Over there they've got hot dog trays full of Cuban cigars, like that, big thumpers. And they're selling them for $20 US a shot. They probably go and hop in their Maseratis, these people. They're making a fortune, but it's such a cool place to be. So these are just ideas for you about what it can be. Let's get serious. Who'd like a car that starts every time you turn the key? Who'd like to not have a mortgage? Who'd like to be able to pay the bills when they come in? Have a one-touch policy that the bills come in, you pay it, and you put it away and you never have to think about it again. Who'd like to be able to just buy new tyres when you need new tyres? That's actually what freedom does. That's actually life at 1% level. I was talking to a multi-millionaire the other day. She was telling me, oh man, got this really cute little seat for our grandson, our new grandson, $29 in Kmart. I was fired up. Don't know, filthy stinking rich. But that doesn't mean you're going to go and buy a gold-plated chair for your grandbaby. You're going to buy, they love a bargain too. That's 1%. It's freedom. It's choice. It's doing whatever you want. So that's what's actually on offer here. And like from our point of view, Ange and mine, we looked at this and we thought, I don't care what it is, let's go. James was fantastic at teaching us how to do this, but we went at it. We didn't. we didn't try and negotiate that price. We didn't say, oh, hang on, I've done 12 hours this week. My attitude was I'll do as much as I can. I was working 80, 90 hours a week. We were going through a lot of stuff at the time, but I genuinely jumped in, boots and all, and didn't let up until we got where we wanted to get. For Ange and I, we built it to an income level of about 50 or 60 grand in today's terms in about 4.5 months. But we got to that 6-figure income a little bit faster than Beach promised. We made it in about 18 months, but because we worked a bit harder than what I promised, because I don't know about you, who's got that mentality, if I'm going to do it, I'm going to give it everything I've got? Because that's me. People are like, how'd you do it so fast? I actually gave it everything I had. People are like, man, aren't you tired? I'm like, yeah, but I'll get over that. Have you ever noticed if you sleep for 8 hours in a row, you're not tired anymore? No matter how tired you were when you went to bed. I worked that out. I thought, who says you've got to have 8 hours sleep a night? Because I had to find this 10 or 15 hours a week if it's important enough to you to make the time. So what are we doing? What we're doing is helping you get from where you are to where you want to be. Now, I'm going to ask you a couple of questions. One is, if I said to you, come out with me every night for the next 2 years, every night we've got to find 2 hours in a 24-hour period, every night for the next, that's even on your birthday, even on Christmas, 2 hours every night for 2 years. Come and shovel chicken manure with me. At the end of 2 years, we'll pay you $250,000 every year for the rest of your life. Who'd come? That's it. That's our business. I hadn't told you about the chicken manure. We're not doing chicken manure, but that's what creates the success in this business. Excuse me, the joys of bronchitis. Sorry. If you are willing to treat it seriously, which we did, 2 hours a day, every day effectively. Now I couldn't do that because I was working 80, 90 hours a week, but I just made sure by the end of the week it added up to that 2 hours a day every day, and 18 months later we're making 6 figures. Who reckons that was a good 18 months? Because now people are like, oh man, that must have been tiring. I'm like, I don't remember that. What I remember is when the money started coming in. What I remember was they sent us on a free trip to Hawaii. Did like a free trip to Hawaii, all expenses paid. Me too. I'm like, okay, I'll do that. We went to this free trip to Hawaii. We took 3 of our mates with us and we came back and didn't have to go back to work. Who reckons that sounds like a good week? Oh, baby, I was fired up. I'll do that. I probably won't. Okay, so what are we doing? We are just taking on the big guys. We're taking on Coles and Woolies. We're teaching people how you can actually change the deal so that you're making money out of your everyday purchases. Who's noticed that most of your income you spend? Yep. What on? Oh, it's the Maserati. It's the house with the pool. It's just on everyday stuff, isn't it? On everyday stuff. Stuff to get us through life, to eat, to drink, the amount of, who's been in a bakery recently? It's unbelievable. You just about got to have a mortgage to walk out. It's incredible. But it's changed because we don't get out much. We're a couple of country hicks now. But that's what we choose. That's our life that we love, is spending time as a family. We love it. And people are like, don't you get bored? I'm like, yeah, no. We've got plenty to do. We retired from our day jobs 25 years ago. That doesn't mean we don't do anything. That means we do stuff that we love to do. We live a blessed life because I'm never stressed and always excited about, I got this stuff on today. Excellent. Because it's all fun. It's all stuff that I love. And people are like, how come you're always so happy? I'm like, try not working for 25 years, mate. See how it goes. It's pretty good, So I was 37 when I was able to go into my boss and say, mate, you can give that job to someone who wants it because I don't want it anymore. And I love it. One bloke said, mate, I went into the boss and I told him, man, I got eye trouble. He's like, what do you mean? He said, well, I just can't see myself coming back to work. So you can use that. That's a freebie for you. Write it down and save it. There's one bloke who had his resignation letter in his pocket, and he set himself up. He was at a position where his mentors and coaches had said, mate, give it away, you're done. So he just kept the resignation in his pocket and waited until they did something so he could whip it out. So he was like, he was always at the ready like a gunslinger. The boss would come up, he'd be like, there you go. What do you got for me? And wait, go on, take that, I'm out. So how you play it is up to you. Save that one for a year or two. At the moment, it's like, no, don't sack me, I love it. But so all we're doing is we're actually, who's noticed that the internet has sort of changed retail a bit? It's fascinating, you see all these empty shops and stuff like that. I've got a few mates who are in clothing retail, and they're just getting killed by the internet because millennials are just like, well, why would I go down there when I can just do it online, it gets delivered, if it doesn't fit us in the back, it's perfect. So it's absolutely slated, but most of us aren't making money out of it. What we've got is a business a bit like eBay and Facebook put together. eBay's just a website. One bunch of people put stuff on there to sell, another come on there to buy, and eBay make money out of that. We bought some stuff on eBay today. It was like, it's a really simple process, and it's going to be delivered to home. It took literally less than a minute to buy those couple of things that we needed, and much cheaper than going down to the shops, down to the sports store, but we just got it, so we got them in. Facebook is just a website that we all build community on. So everybody who's got a Facebook account has got a community, their own community, which is all the people that you're connected with. What we've got is a website backed up by a company called Amway, and they are the ones who put all the stuff on there to sell. So they do all of the back office stuff, now Amway's got a fascinating history. Amway started out as a party plan business. A couple of blokes thought, we've got to find a way to make some money, and they started out door-to-door sales with it. That's 60 years ago. What Amway have done is just kept reinventing themselves and putting themselves in the market. So they've gone through a whole pile of different stages with all of that, but where they, about 1997, the original founders of Amway retired from the day-to-day running and handed the reins over to their kids. The kids saw the internet off in the distance. This is 1997, so 21 years ago, and thought, if we don't grab a slice of that internet, we're going to become dinosaurs. So they set up a whole multi-million-dollar website. They actually launched in Australia first as the test market because they didn't want to bugger it up in America, so I thought they'll bugger it up here. But what that's meant is we're actually the #1 retail website in Australia because we've been going longer than anybody else. So they've done all of that multi-million-dollar investment in the infrastructure and all that stuff. We get to use that like it's our own without having to pay the money. And I don't know if you've ever set up your own business, but it costs money. You want to buy a McDonald's, they don't say, mate, you're a good looking bloke, there's the keys. You want to buy a McDonald's, like the one on West Terrace is, I think the last time it sold for $4 million. So that's not, see, even the little girls are excited by that. So they do all the back office stuff, and we get that for nothing. What our business is building a community of people. We steer them at the website, and we get paid profit share based on turnover. So if you do nothing, you get nothing. If you do a little bit, you get a little bit. If you do a lot, you get a lot. So traditionally, and look, make no mistake, I'm not here because I wanted to be an Amway distributor. I'm not here because I'm excited that part of the product range they've got is toothpaste. But I don't give a rat's. I don't care what shampoo I use. I don't care about that sort of stuff. I'm here because this was a vehicle, a pathway that could get me free and home with my kids. That's it. How's it work? It works. like Amway. Amway turned over, are you ready for this? $12 billion last year. billion. That's a lot of money. You know, I worked at one of the biggest real estate agencies in South Australia. In their 40 years, they wouldn't have done $12 billion turnover. You know, these guys did $12 billion last year operating in 100 countries around the world. We get to use all their infrastructure like it's our own, and it costs us $100 to get involved. Oh, and with that $100, they give you $100 worth of sample product that you can choose. If you are into toothpaste and shampoo, excellent. They've got that, and you can buy that. If you're into health products like Ange and I, we've got Excess Energy drinks. We've got the #1 vitamin and supplement company in the world under our umbrella. We've got one of the top 5 prestige cosmetic companies in the world. We've got Telstra in our back pocket. Who's heard of Telstra? Who thinks that Telstra choose businesses to be involved with without any thought? That just doesn't happen. They did their due diligence for you. The fact that Telstra, Harvey Norman, Real Insurance, all these mobs are involved in this tells us this is the fact that they did $12 billion turnover tells us that it's not about whether the business works, it's about whether we do. About whether we are willing to consistently commit some time and energy. I read a really fascinating article on grit today, and it started out about these 2 teachers who were having a conversation with someone. It was written by the someone that they were having a conversation with, and he said to him, so what's that, they've been teaching for 40 years, what's the difference between the kids today and the kids from 40 years ago? And both of them said instantly, grit. That's just tenacity. That's just willingness to dig in and do what you have to do. And it was fascinating because how they, one of the most important aspects of it was courage. And I was having a discussion with someone the other day about education, that they have just worked out that nature play is really important, getting kids off screens and getting them climbing trees and stuff like that so that they fall out and learn how to make good decisions and learn how to manage risk. And I'm like, yeah, that's how we grew up. That's how we grew up, you know? So it takes a bit of courage, it takes a bit of grit. But you know, everybody's got it in them. If you're willing to switch off some of the stuff you've learned and learn some new stuff that 1%ers know. Because I figured that with my mate James. Only difference between him and me, he knew some stuff I didn't know. That was it. I'm like, he wasn't smarter than me or harder working or better looking or certainly wasn't taller. And yet he was living a lifestyle that I was desperate for, because he knew some stuff I didn't know. So that's what this is about. So manufacturers make goods and services. Traditionally, it goes from there through a wholesaler, through a retailer, and then out to us at the end as consumers. If we pay $1 for it, it's about 20 cents to make. There's about 80 cents in the middle that goes in and covers advertising and covers delivery and all the stuff. So that's just traditionally, that's the way it works. So we pay $1 for it, it's about 20 cents to make. We pay $100, $100 pair of shoes costs about 20 bucks for them to make it. A lot less now because they're outsourcing a lot of that into foreign countries where labour costs are lower and all that stuff. But who's ever heard that the middleman makes all the money? So what we're doing is we're accessing some of that middleman, because the internet has changed the game. Amazon is one of the, well, Jeff Bezos is the wealthiest man in the world. How come? Because he too worked out that the internet has changed the game, because you can bypass all of that. So Jeff Bezos at Amazon, he's got a website that bypasses all of that, and he sells stuff out there, gives a bit of a discount, but all of that, 80 cents, goes to him. That's how come he's the wealthiest man in the world, because he's cut out all the middleman for himself. What Amway have done He's given us an opportunity to take on Jeff Bezos and given us an opportunity to think like Bezos and use an opportunity that we don't have to pay for. He nearly went broke setting up Amazon because people didn't get it at the start. Now he's the wealthiest man in the world. But that's about 20 years later. You know, no one talks about the first 10 years when he was like really doing it tough. But now we haven't got a 10-year program. I mean, you can take 10 years if you like. I know people who've built this in 6 days, from nothing to 4 or 5 grand a month in 6 days. I know people who've been around it for 30 years and haven't built it. So, but it's not about these guys, it's not about Amway, it's about us individually, about what we want to do. So what we've got, Amway load all the products in here, they source them all from the manufacturers. What our business is building a community of consumers and steering them at the website. In that process, there's about 20 cents in every dollar in the form of discounts. So if you spend $100, instead of it costing you $100, you get $100 worth of product, but it only costs you 80, so you've saved 20 bucks. If you had a chance to save 20 bucks on a $100 shop, who reckons that'd be a good deal? That's it. That's our business. That's it. Now, from there, that would be just you. That would be you saving some money on your products by buying from your own business. It's not Amway's business, it's your own business. We set you up as an independent business owner so that you have access to this password protected website. And then they'll give you a discount on any turnover that you do through that business. Any turnover, there's a discount in it. Now, where it goes from there though, Amway take out about 30 cents in every dollar to cover their costs. So it's 20 cents to make, 30 cents there, 20 cents there. There's another 30 cents in every dollar in performance bonuses that ramps up on a percentage basis, whereby the more you do, the more you get. That's it. So what we do is we set you up as an independent business owner, steer you at the website and teach you how to change your buying habits. Who brushed their teeth today? Who used deodorant? Who used some aftershave, makeup? Paddy, put your hand in. You've given up that drag queen. He told me he was a male model. You didn't know that bit of it, did you? So we're not talking about going and buying stuff that you don't buy. We're talking about buying the stuff that you were going to buy anyway, but getting a discount. To me, the way I looked at that, it's always been like a mate of mine bought a hardware store and said, if you come and buy it from me, I'll give you 20% off. I'm like, okay. I'm not going to not go to him if I need some hardware because he doesn't sell milk. Anything I need on a hardware line, I'm going to buy from him because I get 20% off. Wouldn't that be what we do? Mm-hmm. We get to do that for ourselves. So we teach people how to change their buying habits. Average person does about $100 a week, so about $400 a month. At that level, you get a 20% discount, so that $400 worth of stuff costs you about $320. It's 100% 90-day money back guarantee on everything that you buy. Oh, I didn't like that. Give it back. I'll give you your money back. No problem. It's all done. That's why they're 12 billion. They're honest, they're honourable, they're ethical. They've been going 60 years when most other businesses are like flash in the pan, you know. Oh man, we're booming. Oh no, we're dying. And they're gone. Oh, we're booming. Oh, we're dying. Amway's just gone over 60 years, you know. When we got involved, I reckon it was about $700 million turnover a year. And now it's 12 billion. Who reckons that's good growth? That's good growth, you know. So we teach you how to change buying habits. The average person does about that. Now, at that level, you get a 3% bonus. That's not a lot of money, but that's probably $8 or $10 on that sort of money that you're spending. When's the last time Coles gave you a little $10 check? Thank you for shopping with us. They give you flybys, and if you collect like 90,000, you can get a toaster, but they don't give you money. Amway give you money. So what we do then, it's then about building your community. Who's got a Facebook or a social media account? Who's noticed that it's not much fun if there's no friends on there? Because all you get to do is see your own posts. You post, you look at it, you like it, and it's done. What happens when you got some friends? You post, some of them like it. Isn't that a buzz? And you read their posts, and there's stuff trolling through your phone all day, every day. And you, oh man, I've got to catch it up, I've got to catch it up. That's 4 hours gone. But who's making money out of Facebook? Facebook. Us building a community here, and if you've built a Facebook community, you already know how to do this. It's exactly the same process. We're just connecting with people. We're not trying to get them. You don't send a friend request and then ring them up. Man, I sent you a friend request. You haven't answered. That's not what you do. If they don't answer, what do? Well, they want to be a friend with you anyway, you tosser. And that's what you do. So it's the same sort of thing. If people don't want to do it, that's fine. We're building a community of like-minded people. So what we do, we teach you how to share the idea. How to share the idea of, mate, would you be interested in more time and more money than you've got at the moment? Would you be willing to put some time and effort into achieving it? Is doing what you're doing going to get it for you in the next few years? Yes, there's stuff I want. Yes, I'm willing to work. No, doing what I'm doing is not going to get me there. Then let's go. I don't want to do it. I don't want to do it either. Who's ever thought about the word alarm? Who wakes up to an alarm clock? Have you got any idea what the word alarm means? Like alarm is like, that's how we wake up every day when we've got a job. You know, the alarm goes off. I'm like, what a horrible start to the day. Who'd like to wake up when your body tells you it's time to wake up? That is one of the best things about freedom. That I'm so excited about Jack finishing school in 2 weeks because I don't have to set an alarm to make sure he gets up anymore. I am so fired up that we can actually just enjoy waking up when we feel like waking up. We still do that occasionally, but when he's at school it's a bit tougher. We teach you how to teach some of your mates. Let's call it 10 mates. We teach you how to teach 10 of your mates, and then we teach them how to teach 10 of their mates. Now in reality, it's like teach them how to teach 4, teach them how to teach 2, whatever, but you're building a community. So there's 10 people involved in all of these little communities. Now at that level, those people are making around about $300 a month out of this by having started building a business. But if you've got 10 of them doing that, you have 10 people doing $400 a month, that's $4,000 turnover, and that's where you get that $300 a month from, because it's about a 9% bonus at that level. You teach 10 people to do that, that means you've got 100 people doing $400. That's $40,000 a month turnover in your business, and you're not touching any of it. Now, I don't care who you are, that's a great business. That's a business that is unbelievable, because turnover is where profit comes from. Now, at that level, the percentage base, once you're up to that 40 grand a month, the percentage base is about 21%. The average income in Australia last year for someone who built an organisation that looked like that was somewhere between 4.5 or 5 grand a month. That comes in month after month after month. Now, serious question, would that make a difference to your lifestyle? Now, the trick with this is recognising that we help you do that, help you change your buying habits, but these people probably aren't going to knock on your door. These people aren't going to come to you and say, hey mate, don't suppose there'd be any chance you'd have a really good idea that could set me up to be free and be rich. So we've actually got a front footer. And people are like, bless you, we're like, what you mean I've got to talk to people? You got to send them a friend request in real life, you know? Mate, I found a way we can make a buck. Let's get together. I'll run a couple of ideas past you if you like it. We're going to have a ball. What are they going to say? Yes, no, maybe. That's about the options, isn't it? And I'm like, to me, who likes Tim Tams? I love Tim Tams. That's why I look like I like. But to me, this business has always been Tim Tams, not chicken manure, Tim Tams. That if I've got a packet of Tim Tams, I'll make sure you're a really nice guy. Would you like a Tim Tam, mate? Yep, he has one. Do you want one? Yep, do you want one? I hate Tim Tams. I'm not going to. I hate Tim Tams too. That's it. I'm never going to eat them again. I'm done. That's me done. I don't actually think like that. I look at it the other way. I'm like, You're an idiot. That's more for me. Do you want a Tim Tam? I'll offer them. So it doesn't bother me. It's like Tim Tams. Just because they don't like Tim Tams, that does not alter my love affair with Tim Tams one little bit. And I was exactly the same with this. That, man, I've found a way I can go home with my kids. Oh, mate, that'll never work. I'm not doing that. Excellent. I've got an idea. Don't do it. I don't care. I'm looking for the Tim Tam lovers. Oh, mate, I'll have a Tim Tam. Beautiful. Come with me. Because that's how we build a community. Not by getting them in a headlock and dragging them into the back alley, but by finding people who think like us, who are like, man, I'm a goer, I'm willing to have a crack, just give me a shot. So, serious, would that make a difference to your lifestyle? That's a lot of money. Jack's nearly 18. What's he going to do next year that can earn him 50 or 60 grand working a JOB? JOB stands for just over broke, incidentally. It should be JUB, just under broke, because that's how they are now. So what sort of JUB is he going to be able to get that's going to earn him 50 or 60 grand? I see you stayed with me. I love that. Yeah. So for the young people who every job's casual part-time, every job's got zero security, every job they're absolutely grinding into the dirt, and you can't get a mortgage, you can't get a car loan because you haven't got secure employment. This is a genuine business opportunity that is not based on my dollar investment, it's based on my sweat equity. The harder I work, the more I make. Full stop. I asked this question when I first got in, they gave me the perfect answer, and it's still exactly right today. I said, so what's the percentage of people who get to that level? He said, 100% of the people who do the work. I'm like, excellent. Because who knows that over the next 2 to 5 years you're going to be working doing something? The question is it going to get you where you want to go? For me, that answer was definitely no. You think about real estate, the better you are, the more you got to be there. What I really wanted was freedom and time with my family. The better I was at my job, the less time I had with my family and the less freedom. So I was in exactly the wrong vehicle, but because I didn't know what my goal was, I'd never thought about it. I was just like, there's good money in it, and I'm good at it, so why wouldn't I do that? People say to me, I love my job. I'm like, mate, I love my job too. I just loved my family more. You know, it wasn't about, I still do, I was an auctioneer, I still do charity auctions. I did an auction on Saturday, raising money for the school, actually, and I love it. It's fun, but I don't have to do it anymore. I do it because I want to do it, because I choose to do it, and I do it to raise money for good causes. So I love that part of my life now, that we actually get to choose what we do. But wait, there's more. I looked at that and I'm like, okay, that's good, but that's not enough to get me home with my kids. He said, the next step is actually that you keep working with people, you keep helping people. Man, I've gone way over time, so we keep helping people. You have some of these people just want to get their toothpaste cheap. Some of them are like me. I don't care where I get my toothpaste, mate. How do I make the money? You teach 3 people of these people, or it could be someone down here, it doesn't matter. You teach 3 people how to do exactly that, how to build a community of 100 families that they're making that 4.5, 5 grand. At that level, there are also free trips. I talked about Hawaii, I talked about the Caribbean, I talked about Disneyland. The next trip we've got coming up is a free trip, all expenses paid, to Dubai in December next year for about 5 or 6 days. They've got entertainment, a couple of people you might have heard of, Christine Aguilera, Justin Timberlake, Ed Sheeran are coming in to celebrate with us. And we're going to have a party. We've got a couple of outside speakers. George W. Bush, a President of the United States. I am excited about that. And Richard Branson, a billionaire coming into the room to talk to the people who are willing to show a bit of grit, who are willing to get out there and have a crack. But apart from the fact that you're taking some of your mates to Dubai and you're going as well, Amway look at that and say, hey, you've done a good job. You've helped them build a successful, profitable business, And they're an independent business, but they wouldn't have got involved if it wasn't for you. And their business is under your umbrella. So Amway pay you out of their money, not out of their money, pay you a 6% bonus on their entire business volume every month forever. That's a really long time, forever. They pay every month forever. That becomes an ongoing residual income. Do you know what happens? Once you build a community, it's a very different process from going out selling stuff. If you go out and sell stuff, you can sell $40,000 in a month. The challenge is next month you're going to go and sell another $40,000 worth a month to get that same bonus. You build a business that is about community, and you put 100 people in there that actually do their shopping through it. What happens next month is they run out of toothpaste, they run out of energy drink, they run out of protein powder, they run out of makeup, they run. So once you build the community, you actually build a loyal buying base. Why are they loyal? Because we give them a discount and we pay them for shopping. That's a pretty good. Who'd go to Coles if they paid you, gave you a 20% discount and paid you every time you walked in the door? That would probably knock Woolies off the perch, wouldn't it? Well, that was my view on this. They're not going to do that, but Amway are. I'm doing it there. So this becomes ongoing. You having set that up, that's called an emerald in this business. Average income for an emerald last year had 3 of those sort of businesses under them. Average income was somewhere between 150 and 200 grand a year, whether you got out of bed or not. Now, would that make a difference to your lifestyle? At that level 25 years ago, that was enough to take away my real estate job. And we got to that level and we're like, we're done, we're home, we're family. So for the last, I was 36 when I saw this, when I was 37, took us 4.5 months to get to that, took us 18 months to get to that, and we've been retired for the last 25 years, living a life of choice, doing the stuff that we want to do. How do you do it? This is the best bit. The only way this business works is helping other people succeed. The only way you can make money in this is helping other people make money. I looked at this all that time ago and thought, so you teach me to make that and you get a 6% bonus on that? I'm like, man, I love this thing. That's a win-win. I hope he makes $1 million a year out of his 6%. How much am I making? You know, now if that's not enough, you teach 6 people how to do that. That's called a diamond. That's where Beach is. Average income last year was somewhere between 300 and 350 grand a year, whether you got out of bed or not. If that's not enough, teach 9. There's no top. If that's not enough, teach 12, teach 20. Doesn't matter. It's up to you, because this is just based on sweat equity, just based on your effort. The other thing that it's based on is that it's not all about Amway. We've got 2 sides to this business. We've got the support side, which is supply side rather, which is Amway, and we've got the support side, which is a model called TMAC. And what that's all about is teaching us the stuff that 1%ers know that 99% of people don't. And it's a system of audios or podcasts. It's a system of books. And I said before, we've got some books down on the back counter that you can have a look at if you're interested. It's a system of functions, and it's a system of coaching and mentoring. Now, it's fascinating to me that you look at sport, and that is one of the absolute keys to it. You see any high-level players. You see Roger Federer, best tennis player in the world. He's got a coach. You see the Australian cricket team, hardly, but they've got a coach. The Boomers basketball, they've got a coach. Because if you want to play at that level, you've got to have a coach. You've got to have someone who's looking at it objectively and seeing stuff you're not seeing. If you want to play at that level in life, same thing. You've got to have a coach. So this whole stuff is about information and inspiration to teach us the stuff we don't know that the 1%ers do, so that we can get from that 99% side over to the 1% side. That, when I saw this, I'm like, that's where Beecham led it. Give me that stuff. And I poured myself into it. The audios, we just drive around with it in the car. We've got an app, costs about $12 a week to get like thousands of audios access that I can just drive around in the car and listen to a millionaire teach me how to be a millionaire while I'm driving around. I went and saw these guys the other day at Happy Valley. It took me about 50 minutes to get there. I got in like 2.5 audios in there and back. I was fired up. I get there, they're like, man, you've been sniffing something. I'm like, sniffing audios, baby. I love it because it actually puts a whole pile of positive in your mind instead of the negative that we would normally get. The books are books you'd buy in any bookshop. They're Magic of Thinking Big, How to Win Friends and Influence People, Rich Dad Poor Dad, Cash Flow Quadrant. They're 1% books. They're not books that I used to have on my bookshelf at home growing up with mum and dad. But when I saw those books, I'm like, I've seen them somewhere before. Where I worked out I'd seen them was in these multi-million-dollar homes I was selling. They read these books. You know, they're not about study and work hard. They're about study and live hard. You know, so it actually teaches you the stuff that can get you over to that other side of the quadrant. That can get you to a point that you are creating residual ongoing income. John Paul Getty was the richest man in the world when he died. He said, you'll never be wealthy unless you learn how to make money while you sleep. How does a job go with that? Who makes money at their job if they don't go? No one. So you can't do that. Whereas with what we're doing, this is a process for creating residual ongoing income that you get uncomfortable now so that you can be comfortable later on. Most people are choosing comfortable now, but sadly, they're ending up uncomfortable later on. I guarantee you, the 99% of people who end up dead broke or just getting by, they're not there because that's what they chose. They're there because they didn't choose anything. But so are the 1%. They're there because they did choose something. So that's what this is about, is actually getting your eyes on what you want and working out whether you want to fight for it. Functions are like this. This is a function. This is what we call an information session. We do this on a weekly basis. We've got Paddy coming in next week. Yay! It's about putting people up here who've actually put this together, know what they're talking about so that you can use it. You can come along and learn. You can also bring new people into this environment so that they can get a feel. They can sniff the air and meet some of the people. They can feel the energy. This is different from a workplace. This is actually a bunch of people chasing down their dreams, paying a price. 99% of people, it's 5 to 9. What do you reckon 99% of people are doing right now?
Watching TV.
Watching TV. And we're not. We're actually doing a 1% activity right now. We're doing something that 99, I'm too tired, I can't. But, you know, I've got people who said they were coming and didn't come. I've got people who said they were coming and did come. What does that tell you? It's up to each one of us individually, you know. Our business is about sharing the ideas. So we do this on a Monday night regularly. We've also got a major function coming up in February that we'll get into the detail of that a bit later on, but that's all about, we got some of the best speakers in the world coming into Melbourne, and we're all about getting over there and sucking that into our brain, because that'll change the way you think. That'll absolutely change your life. As well as that, we've got what we call a business development event here in this room on December the 3rd, which is a Monday night. That's going to be a bit longer. It goes from 7 to 9:30. But that Bill Smart guy that I was talking about, the guy who set up the horse ranch, he and his wife Bryony are going to be coming in, and they're going to be talking about some stuff about how can we help you get to this level and this level and this level so that you can come on the trips like Dubai. Now that qualification finishes at the end of January, so you want to come to Dubai, you've got to get the letter out, you've got to get busy. But I was like, you know, we had that same sort of time frame when I got in, and they said, there's a free trip to Hawaii. I'm like, you're an idiot. He said, why? I said, because I'm going to build about 100 people anyway. You're telling me if I build it by that date, you'll give me a free trip to Hawaii? I'm like, put me down, mate, I'm coming. And we did. And I didn't know how to do it. I thought, well, seems to me if I help 3 of my mates come with me to Hawaii, they'll probably let me come and they'll pay me a bit more money, so let's do that. So that's exactly what we did. We just went about building communities. But all of this stuff was absolutely paramount in that. All of this stuff was absolutely the key. The audios, the books, the functions, and the coaching were all unbelievably important in helping me change the way I think, because the way I thought was what had got me to where I was. The way I think now is what got me to where I am now. So that's the opportunity for you. So that's on Monday the 3rd of December in this room, 7 till 9:30. Andrew's got tickets down the back. It's $25 a head. A bit more if you wait until the day and get them at the door. Back yourself in. Put yourself into a room with a millionaire teaching you how to be a millionaire. And the coaching is about, if you don't want to do it, don't do it. It's okay. But if you want to do it, we'll run our legs off to help you, because the only way it works is to help other people make it work. So it is unbelievably exciting. We had a video, I've gone on too long, sorry Alex, but we've got people beaming in from all over the place at the moment, including over in France now, so welcome, and in Jamaica and all sorts of places. So things are starting to work, so it's exciting. But understand, this is a $12 billion business that's been going for 60 years and it's working without you. The question is, what do you want, and are you willing to fight for it? And if you're willing to fight for it, we're willing to pitch in and give you a hand. So we won't worry about a wrap. Next Monday night, 7:30 in here with Paddy. We're looking forward to it. Have a great night. Let's get out there and get them up.